John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hey there, this is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert. I have almost 30 years of experience in the credit industry. I've spent time at FICO, which is the company behind the FICO credit scoring system, and Equifax, which is one of the three generally recognized credit bureaus in the United States. Today I'm going to talk about how to reduce the APR or the interest rate on your credit card account. Why in the world is this important to you? Why would you want to do such a thing? Well, the cost of carrying credit card debt month over month is very likely going to be the most expensive debt that you're ever going to service. That's unless you have things like payday loans, title loans, pawn shop loans, asset-based loans. But otherwise, your credit card debt is probably going to be the most expensive debt that you service. It's certainly more expensive than mortgage debt, and it's absolutely more expensive than auto loan debt, student loan debt. The average interest rate on a credit card, depending on where your source is about 17%, and that's annually. And the average interest rate on a retail store credit card is into the 20s. And so it can be very expensive to carry that debt, especially for a long period of time, and especially if you have a lot of it. So if you have credit card debt, one of the goals that you may have is to reduce your APR or reduce the interest rate so it lowers the cost of servicing that debt. And so how do you go about doing so? So one of the ways that you can go about doing so is you have to have good credit. The interest rate is one of the ways that credit card issuers subsidize the risk of doing business with you. And the subsidization or subsidy to the credit card issuer is making more money off of consumers that are higher risk and pose elevated risk to the card issuer's business. And so that's called risk-based pricing. And so let me explain how that works. And so let's say I've got really good credit, so fantastic credit, so credit scores in the 750s and above range. I pay my bills on time. That's what that indicates. And so the credit card companies don't have to charge me really high interest rates to make money because they know I'm going to make my payment every single month on that card. So I'm a very low risk. The flip side of that coin is someone who's got very low credit scores, and therefore the likelihood of them paying their bills on time is not as good as someone who has very, very good credit scores. And so the way that lenders in general, and especially credit card companies, kind of balance that risk of doing business with people like that is to make more money off of that entire group to help kind of balance the engagement there. And one of the ways they do it for credit card users is to have a higher interest rate or a higher APR. Because that way they make enough money off of the people that do pay their bills on time to offset the amount that they're going to lose from the people who do not pay their bills on time. And so, that's why people would generally have a higher APR to begin with, notwithstanding the fact that credit cards generally have higher APRs anyways, just kind of as a normal structure of those types of accounts. And so you could certainly call your credit card issuer and ask them to reconsider your APR. They don't have to, but you can certainly call them and ask them to do so. It would be helpful if you had some ammunition kind of in your corner, if you will, before you make that phone call. And one of those things could be, good credit scores, because obviously higher credit scores mean lower credit risk, and it also means that you're probably getting offers from other credit card companies, and so your business is portable. You could actually take your business to another card issuer, and your existing card issuer probably does not want to lose your business. And one of the ways that they can kind of throw you a bone is to lower your APR. So that's one way. Another way you can lower your APR is by essentially moving your business from one card issuer to another. So if you opened a card at a time when you had less than stellar credit, your interest rate is probably higher than what it would be today, for example, if you had better credit and applied for a card with an issuer to have something brand new, a newly opened card, where the interest rate might actually be lower. And you actually may be able to transfer the balance from your pre-existing card or cards to a newly opened card at 0%. And 0% APR means free money, and there's no better benefit or reward from a credit card issuer than free money. And so that's another way that you can lower your APR, is just opening a new balance transfer card and transferring the balance from your pre-existing cards to a newly opened card. Obviously, you're going to need to have good credit in order to be able to do such a thing, because balance transfer cards are for people who do in fact have good credit. So those are some ideas that you may want to try. If you have any other questions or other strategies that you think of that may be helpful in lowering your APR, please drop them in the comment section below and I'll get to them as quickly as I can. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.